I've got some startling new updates about James Fox's new film, The Program. That's right. It's a documentary about the United States government's UFO reverse engineering and crash retrieval program. It includes firsthand witnesses that we've never heard from before, okay, and sitting members of Congress. Okay, that's according to James Fox. And we're going to play a small little clip that he put out. Nothing too crazy, but it's more just all the context around it that I have and different comments that I found of him making throughout different tweets. We're going to be going through a lot of his Twitter today because that's where a lot of these updates are for. So I made another video previously about the distribution issues that he had with his previous films, like The Phenomenon, Moment of Contact, right? It was about 1091 pictures. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to find out more about that. I do have a few more updates about that situation. And that's sort of what the main update is. But anyway, we'll dive into that in just a moment. Also in this video, I'm going to be covering a tweet that I got. Someone tweeted at me. Who is it? Jeremy Corbell. And he said some nice things about me and vetted, and I'm going to share that tweet and my response to it and maybe some of the feedback that came from that. And that happened to drop yesterday, right, when I made my video about Stephen Greenstreet. Now, I'll put a link in the description if you want to find out more about that. That was interesting for sure, the response from that. So it was a busy day for me yesterday, to be honest with you. But Stephen Greenstreet responded. I pinned his comment to the top, and I'm going to respond to his comment at the end of this video. I do have some things to say, and I'm going to play a short clip from the video yesterday at the end to sort of help explain some of the things that he said in his comment that I just didn't find to be truthful. So anyway, stick around. Let's dive in. If you're new to the channel, y'all, and you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button. We put out a new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day. And of course, hit that like button, y'all. That really helps out the video. So thank y'all so much for the support there, vetters. And of course, comment down below. What do you think of these new James Fox updates about his new film, The Program, right? And by the way, it's coming out in summer 2024. And I'm curious what y'all think about, my response to Stephen Greenstreet, to be honest with you as well. And this tweet that I got from Jeremy Corbell. Right. I know some people are probably going to be asking, how's that going to affect me? Am I going to be able to critique Jeremy Corbell still? Yes, y'all. The channel's called Vetted. It's all good. I'm always fair and balanced. I'm not mean in any way, so I can critique anybody. Right. I critique myself and I love myself the most. So anyway, let's dive in. All right. So this first actually, again, this is a short clip from the new documentary. Now, granted, it's just like B-roll footage, but it's more just the updates, right? The text that I'm going to share here with you. So let's start, right? This is from James Fox. Again, I'll put links to all of this in the description as always. So if you don't want to hear my commentary and you just want to find out the stuff, there you go. Use the links in the description. All right. He says, hello, everybody. In my bunker, I wanted to share just a couple of seconds of some of the beautiful B-roll our team has captured, or our team captured. I will be giving an update on a new distribution deal for my previous films, as well as a status update for our new film, The Program, very soon. Hashtag UAP. So basically all his films have been pulled down. And again, go to that link in the description if you want to find out more details about, some of the madness with his previous distribution deals. And so, yes, so it sounds like these are going to be coming available again. So you can watch The Phenomenon, Moment of Contact, some of his other films, right? That was just through that distributor, you'll be able to access those films again. Because again, I think no matter how you feel about this topic, whether you believe or don't believe, they're well put together films, y'all. Like a film's a film. Documentary is a documentary. Like, every documentary you watch, you just agree with it all? Sometimes they're just interesting to watch as long as it's produced well and there's a story and there's a good narrative, right? I find it fascinating. So I love James Fox's films, and I cannot wait. Dude, I cannot wait to see this movie, The Program. I loved Moment of Contact a lot, and The Phenomenon too, to be honest with you. Those two. The other ones I've seen, but I just don't remember. It's been a long time. And I wasn't really into UFOs when I saw those, to be honest with you. They're just interesting. So anyway, here's a clip. Let's play it.
Love some of the B-roll in The Program. more than 50 years ago.
So that's interesting, right? So basically, he's been filming since 2022, right? And you could tell kind of from this timeline here some of the other details, right? Like what's going to happen. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm sure some people will zoom in or something. But, you know, it's interesting that James Fox edits entirely his films. And he does so much work on them himself, you know. Because to be honest with you, if you've ever edited a film or, you know, a video or anything together, you realize the editing is like so much of building out the video. I mean, you can shoot all this stuff, but if you don't put it together well, like it won't be any good, like at all. Of course, what you shoot is important. Don't get me wrong, but the editing is really like where it's at. It's where the whole story comes together. So I can totally see why he would want to edit it himself. Yeah, fascinating. Again, I cannot wait for this this film to come out, y'all. So again, new film, The Program, coming late summer 2024. This is an older tweet that I covered before, but I just want to include all this. And again, it does include firsthand witnesses, y'all, as well as sitting members of Congress, right? And there's the title of the film, right? It says just a placement holder for now. A very early concept, but the title, as many of you will soon know, is very appropriate. I'm working harder than ever to get this out as soon as possible. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. That was on January 3rd. There you go. The Program, man. Booyah. I mean, what a great title, right? Yes. All right. So let me see. Well, actually, I think I already have this saved. We're going to come back to those tweets. Right here, he's responding to somebody who says, you know, I've been talking to other folks in the industry, and they said there wasn't a lot of things in the contract that could have been done different that would have changed the outcome. Basically, it was asked like, you know, was it something he did, you know, with the distribution deal, whatever. It's just like he just got screwed, man. And right here he says, and yes, I'm working 24/7 on the new film with the title, The Program. I don't think it will disappoint. That was February 1st. And then right here, this was after one of the other tweets previously. Again, Jack Sarfati tweets, you should have included me, James Fox. Never too late. Message me. So it looks like Jack Sarfati may be in the film. And right here, how does this interact with what you've said about having your hands tied legally? Curious. I was robbed blind. Okay. All of the royalties from all my films for the last 10 months. That's a lot of money, y'all. I'm sure that was a lot of money. I mean, that honestly, let's be real. It's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Could it be in the millions? Maybe. I don't know what kind of royalties he's making. From all my films. Wow. Yeah. So he says, my new film, The Program, is not owned by anybody yet. I will be very careful this time. Love hearing this. Are you self-distributing or have you secured distribution that protects your rights and has solid financials, etc.? I will be very careful this time. This guy says, firsthand witnesses of UAP sightings, of direct knowledge of these legacy programs, of what exactly? See, that was my point in my video the other day about firsthand knowledge and witnesses. Like, what does that mean exactly? I gotta be honest, the majority of you commented like, come on, Patrick, we all know what that means. Some of you understood the nuance I was getting at and really put one of our vetters, Liam, I apologize, Liam, I can't remember your last name, but you put this beautiful comment about like carpentry and how it all works. And that's exactly what I meant. Right. So anyway, yes. You know, firsthand, like what exactly? I think everyone has a different definition, and you assume you know what that means, right? But do we? And is everyone saying the same thing? Again, anyway. And James Fox just, responds, well, we're not talking my migratory songbirds. So anyway, right here, firsthand witnesses we haven't yet been introduced to. Yes. He's basically pointing up like, yes. So that's pretty cool, right? So I think that's what a lot of people are waiting for. Let's be honest, right? Waiting for the people that have touched the craft, seen the craft, like put their hands, been inside one, flown one, I don't know, from this program, not from like public, right? I'm not taking away from any of those experiences, but I think a lot of people generally are waiting for, something a little more official. That doesn't mean it's not real if someone has a personal experience. I'm just saying that this is what sort of the meat and potatoes that a lot of people are looking for to come out, which is this, right, from our government. Those firsthand witnesses, right, that we can verify, and they'll have proof or something, I guess. I'm curious if that's, I'm sure y'all have the same questions I do. Let's be real. Are they going to show their faces? Are they going to show their names? Are they providing actual evidence or proof, or is it just stories, right? They're just telling their side of their stories. How in-depth do they go? Like how detailed? And how many exactly, right? First-hand witnesses, is it going to be 2 or is it going to be 32? Because that would mean the same thing, right? First-hand witnesses, 2 or 32, right? Just more than one. So I think, reasonable questions. And that's why I can't wait. I mean, what more do we want? There's nothing past a first-hand witness in the sense of someone who's touched the craft, been inside of a craft, seen an alien body, worked on an alien body, talked to an alien body, I don't know, been aboard a spaceship with alien, I don't know, whatever the thing is, right? Been to these other dimensions, I don't know, right? Been underwater to one of these bases, something, right? That what's past that? Nothing. I mean, just the alien, right? At that point, the thing past first-hand witness is the alien. So yeah, I'm fascinated, of course, because again, once we reach this point in this narrative, right, in this story of the search for what exactly is going on with UFOs, right? Because again, my position is I don't know. Some of you are pretty certain, and some of you are not. And that's okay. Just remember, everybody's on their own journey with this, as they should be. If it's as important as everyone claims this discovery is for mankind, then for Christ's sake, everyone should be allowed their own journey to get there, whatever that is. We all have different experiences. We all, different class, different race, different cultures, different countries. It's just so many different things that makes us unique. So our journey is going to be unique, right? So that's all I'm saying. So where am I at? I'm just in the middle. I don't know yet, but this is it. We want to see this stuff. But my point is, like, once we get to this point in firsthand witnesses, there's, besides rolling out the cart of the craft and alien bodies, there's nothing left. We can't just keep getting, right? That's the end. That's the end zone. So once we're there, if stuff doesn't start to come out, I don't know what's going to happen. But this is definitely a step in the right direction, right, in my opinion. Again, I cannot wait to see this film. It's going to be a great film no matter what. So anyway, I just think that's exciting. We haven't been introduced to them yet, right? These are just people we don't know. So it's not going to be whoever you may think is a first-hand witness that's out in public right now that worked for the government, right? Whoever you may think, right? It's not going to be any of them. It's going to be any new names. It's like when David Grush came out, and everyone was like, whoa, who's this guy? It's probably going to be a bunch of David Grushes, I guess. Because, again, remember, David Grush has an op-ed coming out that he has first-hand knowledge, right? So, anyway. He says right here, he's asked by J-Rod here, is the release date based on the actual production of the film, or is it a result of some other timeline of events? So, again, summer 2024, right? Late summer 2020. What does that mean? August sometime. And don't forget, the election is this year, right? Just a couple months past that. So that's going to be interesting. Will this documentary affect UAP becoming a voting issue, right? This put pressure on the nominees to support disclosure, right, or not, or what, right? It's going to be interesting because there's going to be debates going on at that time. Like, it's going to be nuts, y'all. But to be fair to that, just the flip side, what if because of all of the election, media attention, because it's probably going to be insane. Let's be real. If, based on who's running, again, it's not a political show, so I'm not here to talk about that, but let's be real. There's going to be a media frenzy, right? So like, is this going to get lost in the mix? I hope not, or will this just become one of the voting issues? And is this why maybe this will be a way to make it a huge voting issue, right? Like immigration or education or whatever. And people just start to name it off like that, right? UAP disclosure, right? Like just becomes this innocuous thing that you throw in the mix of, milk, eggs, butter, right? Does that make sense? So that would be a huge leap forward for it to just be considered one of the main points that Americans care about when they vote. Because it becomes important to America and society, right? So, yeah, I'm curious how that's going to be affected. So, right here, now again, this is January 3rd. So, he says, is all filming done and just in the editing post-production phase now? And he says production. He says 98%, right? So, it is possible that the film gets pushed back. Something happens, right? Because of production. It's 98%. That was January 4th. So I don't know. Right there. So Jeremy Corbell tweets out to me right here. Gotta say, don't know the guy, but I've become a rapidly engaged fan of the Daily Drops by Patrick, a vetted podcast. He breaks shit down in an honest and detailed way, super accessible to follow his evolving thoughts on UAP. It's refreshing and inspiring. And he puts that picture of me like this. No, it's fine. I mean, that's my face, right? Like, but anyway, that's so yeah, that was cool. Thought that was cool. Look, the truth is, and I responded like, listen. I critique Jeremy. I have critiqued Jeremy a lot on this channel, man, just like anybody, because he's very vocal. A lot of things to critique him about. And again, he's not perfect, and neither am I, and neither is anybody. But I thought this was cool, man, because he's commented on this channel a few times, and he's always been respectful of my critiques, and I respect that. I respect that he can handle it, and I respect that he can say this, right? I do. I respect that because, again, basically like the response from Stephen Greenstreet of me critiquing him is the complete opposite. You know what I mean? It's not even the same. So let's take a look. Look, I do apologize. I had this ready to go, but it got rid of my stuff here. So, wait, what? Let's play. There we go. All right, so here's his, let's get his comment here and go over this so I can respond. Because then I'm going to play a part of the video I think will help explain a little bit more of exactly what I said. But he goes, okay, here goes. The first note about the YouTube description was acknowledged and amended. Honestly, the YouTube description is usually a last-minute addition once the actual report is published, and that first note could have been phrased more clearly. It is now. So he's basically saying there was an inaccuracy in the report, and he fixed it. Right? And just remember that for a later point that I'm going to make here. Actually, let's just go there. So I'll go through this again. But so he says that, right? So acknowledged, right? Amended. He changed it. All right. So I think he's trying to say like the description is separate from the video, right? It's all together, dude. Title, thumbnail, description, video. It's all the report together. If you see that differently, that's a little weird. He says, oh gosh. See, he responds to somebody here. That's interesting. Where's his responses? That's interesting, I gotta say. I cannot find his responses. Well, that's interesting. He had responded that I had not found any inaccuracies and I had failed to do so. But that has been deleted. He's actually deleted all his comments in there in response to people. So that's interesting. He only had a couple, but that was one of them. He was basically saying, I tried and failed. Clearly, I did it, because right at the beginning right here, but maybe that's why he deleted it. He realized that was wrong. So, right? So interesting that those comments are gone. Interesting. So, the he only spent one night at Skinwalker Ranch argument is tired and misguided. Anyone who says this has not seen my extensive 2-year reporting on the ranch, in which I conclusively report that there's nothing at Skinwalker Ranch and there never was. So, you expect everyone to understand your 2-year reporting that you've done, dude? Like, what are you talking about? Like, how much time have you spent on this? Like, this is crazy. Like, it's not like the Panama Papers or something, right? Like, Watergate or so. Like, this is JFK's assassination. This is interesting. Links to my extensive reporting are under the video Patrick is discussing here. There's no debate here that I exhaustively investigated the ranch from every angle. Yeah, there is a debate here. That's what the whole point is. From every angle. Really? From every angle? That's impossible, dude. Again, what are you stating? It's impossible that you went to Skinwalker Ranch one time and debunked it. It's impossible that you investigated the ranch from every angle and provided its proponents multiple opportunities to present any evidence at all to support any of their claims. Here's the thing I don't think Stephen understands. He thinks I'm doing a report. I asked these people for things. They didn't give it to me. Therefore, it's not true. They wouldn't respond to him to comment, right? Or provide any of the claim, right? So then that's the... So, granted, if they did give you some stuff and you weren't happy with it, okay, that's your report. But that doesn't mean that's what it is. That just means that's what your report is. But again, he goes on to say there's no debate about it. Clearly there is, just not for him. Ranch from every angle, that's impossible. Provided them multiple opportunities to present any evidence at all to support any of their claims. Okay, but why do they have to provide the claims to you? Who are you? Right? They just, because you asked, they must do it. How many times have you been asked, Stephen, things and you don't respond or comment or anything? I remember reaching out to you a while ago for an interview, never responded. No comment. Should I have made a report about it? Like, yeah, he doesn't want to face me scared. There's no evidence to support his claims. I reached out to him. Why doesn't he respond? I don't know. Whatever. But regardless, the end result was nothing. So, again, he's like, mic drop, right? It's tired and misguided to him. And again, this is his opinion, so he's allowed to put it. It's just very definitive. Whereas I'm saying, we don't know. But he wants to say, no, I know, and this is what it is. Because I debunked, I looked at an angle, 2-year report, extensive. How can it be that extensive? You have told me you only spend 5 to 10% of your time on this. That doesn't sound, if your New York Post time, you only spend 5 to 10% on it. That's what you told me. So how is that possible? You've done this extensive investigation. You went to Skinwalker Ranch one time. What kind of budget are you working with that you did this extensive investigation? You mean online on Google? Calling people, emailing? Okay. But like, where'd you go? What'd you do? Like boots on the ground, right? One time at Skinwalker? I'm sorry. You bought one book and you looked in one book skinwalkers at the ranch, whatever that thing is. I don't know. It just, I don't know. Everyone to decide for himself. Again, I'm not saying there's alien this, that. I'm just saying that this part, right, is like, Stephen Greenstreet would be the absolute worst CIA plant is a flat-out, hilariously true statement. Yeah, I stand by that, so I'm glad we agree there. Regarding Kirkpatrick as a total UFO guy, my actual reporting states that a source told me that this was Kirkpatrick. I'm not thinking that or believing that. I'm reporting what a source told me. Listen to that statement. I'm reporting what a source told me. Let's read that again. I'm reporting what a source told me. I'm reporting what a source told me. How many times have UFO people said that and he's been all over their ass? Again, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying he's very critical of that when it comes to, as he puts it, UFO activists saying things like that. And I know a lot of people are, so I can understand it. But then he also does the same thing. Well, I'm just reporting what a source told me. What source? I was never able to confirm Kirkpatrick said this. Okay, but you put it in your video. So anyway, right, y'all can think about this however you want, but that just, again, whatever. Regarding my total UFO tweet, I should have said is reportedly or is allegedly, as other tweets of mine from this same time frame do say that. Okay. Again, that part's not a big deal. He amended his position and whatever. I don't, yeah, sure. But this one tweet did not, and I'll own that. Okay. So I found an inaccuracy in your reporting. Right? And again, stated I tried and failed. But again, that comment is gone, so I'm glad you realized that wasn't true. None of that changes the original accurate reporting, which states that a source familiar with this briefing says this was Sean Kirkpatrick. It's as simple as that. It's not really. A source who was there said Kirkpatrick said that. I wasn't there. I can't say he did. DOD would not let me speak to Kirkpatrick to confirm this. I tried. So again, he's just very kind of like, yeah, that's, whatever. Anyway, y'all can decide for that on your own. This part is what I want to focus on because this is more about me. And, yeah, I felt like he mischaracterized my position, but maybe he feels the same way about me, right? Clearly, that's what he's writing. And everyone's allowed their own opinion. So that's why I pinned the comment at the top of the video so everyone could see it. See, that's his opinion. I said my piece. He said his piece, right? So, all right. So he says, finally, the goofy stuff. The goofy stuff, he says. The goofy stuff. I'll tell y'all what the goofy stuff is. The goofy stuff about, oh, maybe you did something bad or embarrassing in your past, so you best be careful, is ludicrous. So he put that in quotes. Oh, maybe you did something bad or embarrassing in your past, so you best be careful. I didn't say that. So he misquoted me. All right, completely. I mean, I'm going to show you the clip of what I said. And he said it's ludicrous, like the goofy stuff. All right. If I said or did something dumb 18 years ago, remember that date, 18 years ago. It does not change my 2024 reporting about a dubious group of activists duping Congress to investigate UFOs, right? Again, dubious, duping. An embarrassing tweet from 10 years ago. Well, I thought it was 18. 18 or 10 years ago. Certainly does not disprove any of my current reporting. I didn't say it did. It's not even close to what I said it did, but that's what you want to make it seem. Right? It's very disingenuous, this part, Stephen. No offense, man. But because the claimants and their supporters cannot provide evidence or facts, they resort to desperate smear campaigns, which I have zero interest in. No one cares if you have interest in it, dude. Like, that's not the point of bringing it up, because you have interest in it. You think they want to know what your interest is in it? Very narcissistic way of thinking. But this whole part is narcissistic. Right? He's saying because they can't provide evidence or facts, they resort to desperate smear campaigns. Look, there are some desperate smear campaigns, but also from him, right? He's being hypocritical. He does that. He does it too. So what are we talking about? So you obviously have interest in it. You just don't like tennis. It comes back to you. The ball comes back. Your judgmental and dismissive comments. Again, pay attention to this because I'm going to play exactly what he's talking about so you can hear it for yourself. About my recent Taylor Swift article are disappointing. Again, wait till you hear what I actually said. And I think this just more points to his mindset. He's insecure, and therefore that's what he thinks I mean. And that's just that's projection. And look, we all do it. I'm sure I do it a little bit. Maybe there's even a little bit in this video. I don't know, right? I don't know. I'm just saying. That's what that sounds like to me. Because that's not it at all. And then he goes on to state what he did for that, Taylor Swift. Dude, I didn't talk anything. Great what you did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody said anything. Dude, he's nuts. He says, I'm proud of my article, its results. Again, I didn't diss the article. I didn't diss Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? He's making all this up like he's a victim here, right? And I chastise you for your flippant dismissal of it. Again, chastise me? Who are you, Catherine the Great? Like, you know what I mean? Chastise me. Again, so dramatic. Look, if I was Steven, he responded an hour after this video. If I was Steven, I would have waited. Let things settle, see what plays out, and then go in and make a comment. But he couldn't help himself. This is just a gut reaction from him. See, I took a long time on my video, and I thought about it. I even thought about this response to his comment. Because I wanted to think about it and think it through, make sure, right, that I wasn't, right, and I talk with other people. I discussed it with friends to find out where I was in my position, make sure, wasn't overthinking, underthinking, right, being mean, whatever, you know what I mean? Hey, you look at this, you tell me, what do you think? Like, is that what this is going on here? I don't think Steven did that. I don't think Steven does that. And if he does, I hope it's with friends that aren't in the community, right? Not just other people that he talks to, that are other debunkers or whatever you want to call them, right? I hope he just discusses with other people, friends, outside of this. So that's what I would have done if I was him. So anyway, let's take a look at the actual video of what I said, and then you can judge for yourself.
Worry about theft of your mail and packages?
Look at this. We gotta watch
Wouldn't
this
it be
ad,
great if you
y'all.
could view and
Right. But this video is about Stephen Greenstreet's video and all of that. And again, those are just the points that I found. I guess it may be semantics. You may agree that they're inaccurate or not, but I definitely don't think they tell the whole truth. I definitely think the reporting is opinion, and that's fine. Again, that's what I do here. I'm an opinion, but I'm not a reporter or anything, right? I'm just a regular dude with a YouTube channel. So, and this is how I see it. This is my opinion on all this, right? I'm not saying this is fact either. I'm just saying this is my opinion. And y'all should make your own conclusions. Come to your own conclusions. Watch it. Think, accept it however you want. It's just how I feel about it. And one thing I would say to Steven is I just see him use a lot of words like wacky and spooky and crazy and, Jeremy Corbell's a yoga instructor, this, that, right? Like it's a little personal. Kind of takes it to a place that doesn't need to be, right? His personal opinion sort of bleeds into this reporting. Listen to my voice. Listen to what I'm saying. Does it sound like I'm so mean and dismissive and chastising him and any of this stuff, judgmental, right? Let's take a look again at what he's saying about me here. Dismissive, like an embarrassing tweet, the goofy stuff, right? He's saying the goofy stuff, resorting to desperate smear campaigns. Does this sound like a desperate smear campaign that I'm saying? Just listen. I found some things about Steven online that I did not know doing this video, and I could have showed it,
but I didn't. I could have showed it, but I didn't, right? Is this a smear campaign? I would have showed it, right? Because the goofy stuff he's talking about are horrific racist comments. I'm talking a lot of them. And the most recent is like 6 years ago. So this 18 years, 10 years nonsense, yeah, there's those too. But it's basically just around the time he starts the basement office. And he stops, turns a new leaf because he's like, oh, I'm getting big. I don't know. Does he still feel that way? I don't know. But I'm just saying. There's some stuff you can search on Twitter and find all the screenshots, and it's a lot of stuff, and it's horrific, man. So for him to say the goofy stuff, dude, like that's an embarrassment and a total disrespect. Like, my mom's from Mexico. When I was growing up, man, people were racist to me. It's not fucking goofy. Like, it affects people deeply. Right? The goofy stuff, I don't think you understand how many people are probably going to be offended by that. Or not. I don't know. Maybe somebody's be like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Not me. The goofy stuff, you know? I was like 11 years old and somebody would say, oh, your mom should come clean my house. All kinds of stuff. Spick, beaner, you name it. Dude, the things I got told, right? When somebody finds out you're from Mexico. I live in Texas. I grew up in Texas. It happens. I'm not saying other cultures aren't racist. I'm just saying racism exists, dude. It's not goofy, bro. And the stuff you wrote, if you think that's just goofy shit, like, that's disturbing, dog. I got to admit, like, forget UFOs, forget all that stuff. I got to be honest, man. That was quite disheartening. You know, and you try to project and put that on me in your comment, right? Like I'm the one. That's some trolley stuff, man. It's kind of despicable, if I'm being honest. So let's continue here.
And I just think Stephen should just be careful going the personal way, because people could go the personal way for Stephen, right? And attack him for some of his past. And, you know,
doesn't sound like I'm just being reasonable there. It's not like I'm threatening him, right? I'm just having him consider that. Because, again, his personal opinion is in the reporting. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring it up. But look at how he takes it. Why? Because he's either insecure with himself, narcissistic. I don't know what it is. But just the fact that he would call those comments like that goofy, that if it's true what I saw, like, it's not good, man. So I'm just saying, I would just be careful with the personal stuff, because that can be used against you, dude. You know what I mean? Look at me. I'm just talking reasonably, like I'm talking to a friend over a beer. I'm not threatening him. Doesn't sound like that at all. But now Steven's the victim. Bro, get the F out of here, dog. He can hand it out all over Twitter, bro. You know, Steven comes and comments on videos and stuff, right? And he even comments on Twitter about stuff. I had a thumbnail up of somebody, and it said, of Diana Pasulka, and it said, I saw an owl, and then time stopped, right? She tells her story of her UFO story. And he writes like, oh, that thumbnail and two skulls, like, you know, got her, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's not what I meant by it. But that's how he thinks. I didn't respond. I did nothing. You know what I mean? Honestly, I lost so much respect for Stephen Greenstreet. And, you know, anyone that knows this channel knows that I stuck up for him. I made a whole video about him, like, and hoping he would come back to the community, right? In open arms, right? 2024, fresh perspective. Let's go. And looked back at the basement office and how great it was. And he even commented how fair and honest I was. And now I'm not fair and honest anymore, dude. This was fair and honest, my video. But yeah, you went too far, man. It's not goofy. Those comments, dude. I'm not showing them here. So that's not what this channel is. But that's personal. I'm not trying to make it personal for me. But dude, it just makes it makes it hard for me to take this seriously, right? It's just kind of, anyway. Maybe this has to become a little personal. And that's why after this, I'm done with covering this sort of stuff, like Steven and all that. Like, I just don't care. Like, I'm moving on from it. But this is important to me and to my history. and who I am. And I mean, one thing is to give your opinion, but I felt this was so disingenuous of the video that I made, of my comments on it. You're just completely making up quotes about me. Did I say that? Oh, so you best be careful. That's not what I said, dude. Right? Oh, maybe you did something bad or embarrassing in your past, so you best be careful. Anyway. Let's go back. And, you know, that if it's true what I saw, like, it's not good, man. So I'm just saying, I would just be careful with the personal stuff, because that can be, that's what I say. I would just be careful with the personal stuff, because that can be used against you. Just total con job of a comment towards my video, man. Used against you, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm saying you, dude, like Steven, like he's watching this. I don't know. I'm sure he will. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, he did.
I do hope he watches. I hope he puts a comment down below. And he has before. He's been in the chat before. So I'm just saying. And look, I get Twitter is Twitter. And I said that earlier in the video. I hope Steven comments and civil discourse and whatever. I mean, and then he describes me as judgmental, dismissive. I'm like, dude, get the F out of here, man. And a lot of people do it. So, you know, whatever. You know, I'm not a Twitter guy. Hate Twitter. Hate all that stuff. And, you know, maybe that's Twitter. Just how Twitter is. Maybe I don't understand Twitter. That's just how people do things. If it is, okay, then, you know, I'll shut my mouth about it. But it just seems odd. I just think it could affect your credibility. You know what I mean? If you're trying to be this, like, serious investigative journalist, as your email signature states under Stephen Greenstreet, it says investigative journalist and video producer, right? So I'm just saying, because again, when you attack people for like other things that you're like trying to make it seem like they're not credible because of this thing. I mean, dude, I saw another post of Stephen Greenstreet of another story he worked on. Here it is. He's chastising me for these comments. The dismissive, judgmental, and tries to break down like he's so proud of that story. He helped people, and like I don't care about that. Again, here it is. It was a Taylor Swift like merchandise scam story, like an exclusive story, right? Like people could throw that in your face at you, right? Because again, if you go that way, people can throw that in your face. I'm not. I'm saying that's what people could use against you, right? Because they could completely wrap it, right? Like, hey, look at what he's doing over here. No, that's not what I was saying. But again, you clearly are not paying attention to the details, dude, of what I said. Because your mind, you are insecure about that story, and you think that can be used against you, which proves my point. You're right? Like, you are insecure about it. Because that's not what I said about it. I have no problem with Taylor Swift. Let me make my position clear. I have no problem with that. I'm glad you covered the story. I'm glad you uncovered that. I'm glad those people got their money. And I'm glad a scam was stopped. What kind of person do you think I am? Nobody in their right mind would think I wouldn't support that. Nobody that knows me in their right mind wouldn't think I wouldn't support that. So, like, your comments make no sense, dude. And anyone that watches the video is going to be like, dude, that's not what Patrick said. And now you just made it worse for yourself. Again, because you didn't stop and, like, you should have waited to put your comment, thought it out properly. But, you know, fast and loose. And look, I'm there too. I do it too. I put out a video every day, so I get it. People could vet my channel, dude. Vet my videos. I'm sure I make mistakes. I'll own up to them. I made a mistake. Let's move on. Like, it's all good. But you don't want to ever make a mistake. Because you think that would did a crack and then they'll just jump on it, whatever. I mean, dude, everything can't be perfect. You're not perfect, dude. All your reporting is not perfect. I'm sorry. You haven't covered it from every angle. I'm sorry. All these things. Yeah, I'm a little hot on this, so we're going to wrap this up soon. And this is the last part. People, then they have a right to go that way with you too, right? It sort of opens the doors. So, again, I'm just saying. That's what he's chastising me for? Seriously? Again, absolutely insane. Just absolutely insane. Everyone should do whatever they want, report whatever you want, say whatever you want. It's your opinion. Do whatever you want. Wow. What a judgmental person I am. Do whatever you want. Have your opinion. Report what you want. God, how judgmental is that, Patrick? Wow.
This is just my opinion. This is my channel. This is what I'm talking about. Will I continue to watch Basement Office videos? Of course. Absolutely. Does it mean I agree with everything in it? Of course not. I don't agree with anything of everything. Or, of anything. I don't agree with everything of anything. Ever. So, yeah. But look, you always state you want to find inaccuracies in reporting. That's the video I made.
And I did. And that's the video. So thank y'all vetters for joining me. I'm sorry for this long rant at the end. I promise I'm not going to bring this up again. I'm moving on from it. That's what it is. I don't care what Steven responds. I will pin it to the top if he does, but I honestly don't care. That'll be his piece. I said mine right now. This is my final piece on it. So I'm moving on. Want nothing to do with it. Or him really, for that matter. And that's just how it is. That's just how it goes. Am I ever willing to have a conversation with him? Sure. Because I'm always willing to have a conversation. But not on my channel. That's just the truth. I'm not going to put him on here, talk to him. Yeah. But would I talk to him? Sure, over the phone or something. Yeah, absolutely. Have a beer with him? 100%. Because then I could just be me. You know what I mean? And I'd bring all this up, be like, dude. Anyway. All right, y'all. We'll see you on the next video tomorrow. We're moving past this. I got some exciting an interview with the Vanderburg Red Square UFO case, right? 5 witnesses have come forward, first-hand witnesses, and we're going to talk about that. It's actually very exciting, so I cannot wait to share that with you. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. It's very exciting. Let's head that. I think we deserve a break from some drama for a day, right, tomorrow. So let's get into it. All right, vetters, thank y'all again for joining me. Sorry if it got a little personal on my end. It just affected me deeply, and I normally don't let those emotions out on the show, but I apologize if I offended anybody or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, every day's a gift, vetters. Every day's a gift. Don't forget that. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.